Hello boys and girls, Mr. Lopazzo here with another drawing video for you. Today we're going to be doing a ladybug. But that ladybug, because they're very tiny and hard to see, what we did was we put him under a magnifying glass so that we can see him really good. There's the metal rim of the magnifying glass and there's the handle. So outside the magnifying glass, everything we make today is going to be very small. Inside the magnifying glass is going to be very big because it magnifies or makes it bigger. So I have a square drawn up here on the board. You can see these two examples were squares. This one was a rectangle. If you want to cut the paper into a square, you can. I think it might make it a little easier to do the circle, but that's completely up to you. You can do it on a rectangular piece of paper like this. You'll just get more handle than you would on a square piece of paper. And I would use as big a piece of paper as you have. If you use a small piece of paper, then you might end up with a very small magnifying glass, and then the ladybug on the outside is going to be like life size, which is teeny weeny. We can't draw life size when it comes to ladybugs. There's no way. Okay, so I'll put this one over here. Here's another example. This one probably could have done more grass in the background. It doesn't really look like a lawn or grass. But the ladybug that's drawn on the inside is done incredibly well. You can see we've got fuzzy little legs out here. We've got antennas there. He's got little pinchers right there. And of course, ladybugs have spots on them. So I'll put that one over here. And this one is another nice ladybug. And I love the grass that they did on the outside. We'll talk about how we're going to color these in a sec. But we're going to draw it first. Remember, I say this in every video, but I'm going to repeat myself. I'm going to go pretty quickly so that the video is not too long. But pause it and rewind it or stop it as many times as you need to if you miss anything. Now, first thing we have to draw is the magnifying glass. We're going to draw a nice big circle. Now, you can freehand the circle like I'm going to do, or you can find something that is almost the size of your paper. You can see, actually not that one, you can see on here where the circle is almost as big as the whole piece of paper. So if you might be able to use a coffee can, you might be able to use the bottom of a garbage pail. Maybe you have like a little garbage pail in your bedroom or something small, and you want to find a circle. And if you can find something around the house that's a nice big round circle that you could put on your paper and trace it, that will help a lot. Try to get it nice and round. But the trick is finding something almost as big as your paper. So I got a big piece of paper. I can't find anything that big except maybe the planet Earth. I'm going to have to draw my own. So I'm going to make a nice big circle. You are going to trace your circle. Of course, you're doing this with a pencil and an eraser. Of course, we know that. So I'm going to, let's see, let me look at my iPad. That's okay. It's a little lopsided, but it's close. Hopefully you found something to trace so it's a nice round circle. Now, the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to draw another circle. This one you won't be able to trace because we're going to make it just a teeny bit smaller on the inside. But if you found something to trace and you have a nice perfect circle, this part is really easy because all you have to do is just follow your first circle. So we're going to go on the inside. We don't want to make it too skinny because then we're not going to be able to color in our magnifying glass. So you want to leave a little bit of space. I would say you're going to leave a little bit more than the thickness of a pencil. Now, if you're using a really big piece of paper, you can make it a little bit thicker than that. But if you're just using a normal sized piece of paper, I would say a little bit thicker than a pencil. And the trick is trying to keep it the same all the way around. That's the trick. And if you have any spots that are too close together, if you made it where it gets too close or it gets too wide, you just erase the part that you're not happy with. Because of course you're drawing lightly, as we always do. Right? I'll erase that if it's too wide. we'll try to get it to be the same all the way around. As close as we can get. So that's our magnifying glass. Whatever is in here is going to be really big. Whatever is outside is not going to be so big. So I'm going to finish my handle. You can put the handle either in this corner or that corner. If you're using a rectangle piece of paper like this one, then you're going to be able to fit a lot of your handle. I'm not going to have very much of a handle because my paper's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my handle on. It doesn't matter. I'll put it over here. So you definitely want to be going to one of the corners because that's where we have the most room. We have the most room in the corner of our paper. So what I'll do, I'm going to come right over here to this corner, and I'm going to make a square on the outside of my magnifying glass. It's connected. That's going to be the little metal piece that's holding my wooden handle. Then I'm going to draw two skinny lines inside there. Notice how they're pointing to the corner. And then I'm going to draw my handle. I'm going to make a line across and then all the way down. It doesn't have to be exactly in the corner. It's more important that your handle is straight. A handle on a magnifying glass, a lot of times they're made out of wood. Ours is going to be made out of wood. And we want it to be nice and straight. So if you don't go into the corner, it doesn't matter. So our magnifying glass is done. Now we got to put something inside it. So our ladybug is round. So we're not going to draw the whole ladybug. Part of it's inside the magnifying glass, part of it's outside. But the part that's inside, I want to make it round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw just a little tiny line on the inside of my magnifying glass, just above my handle. So right about there. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw a little mark on this side. So it's one line is on that side of the magnifying glass, the other's on this side. Now, right in between these two lines, we're not making anything in there. So we're not drawing anything that crosses that because our magnifying glass is over top. And I'm going to draw a nice big curve up, around, and down from one dot to the other. You should be filling up about half of your circle. If we put too much of our ladybug, we're not going to have enough room for the antennas and the pinchers and the legs. And if we come down here, we're going to have too much room. It's going to be empty. So I'm going to find the middle of this big curved rainbow I've got here, which is right about there. And I'm going to draw a little circle right in the middle there. And then I'm going to make a line that goes from the middle of there right down until I touch my magnifying glass. And that way I'm splitting it into two halves. A ladybug has wings. They're hard wings. And their shells open up, and you can kind of hear ladybugs flying because their wings are hard and they click. So we got two wings on our ladybug. Now, I want to make nice, remember, everything inside is big. So I'm going to make 3 big spots in my ladybug. 3 big spots. But I'm going to make them so big you're not even going to be able to see all of them. So I'm going to make one big one over here. And I'll put one big one right over here. And I'll put one big one over here. So they're so big I can only see like half of them. And I'm going to do 3 on the other side. If you want to make it symmetrical, you can. You can put, half the circle there, and then you could put one here. Put one over there. It can be symmetrical or not symmetrical. That's up to you. All right, so that's my ladybug shell. So ladybug, we're going to make, he has 6 legs. But we're going to do 4 on the outside, so we're going to do 2 on the inside, and they're going to be nice and big and hairy. So I'm going to go way over here to the sides, and first I'm going to make like his shoulder where it connects to his body, and that's just kind of up, over, and down. It's kind of like a square, but it's not a pointy square on the corners. It's kind of round. And because I'm looking at him really close, I'm going to make his leg really hairy. Big fuzzy insect legs. And I'm going to go from the shoulder all the way up until I touch the magnifying glass. So kind of hairy, zigzaggy. They should not be skinny. They should not be teeny weeny. They should be nice and big. We're looking at them really up close. Now, I'm going to put pinchers in here. So the pinchers are pretty much triangles that are curved, right? They kind of look like a shark fin. So I'm going to put them right here in the middle. So I'm going to do one. So I'm going to curve up into the middle and then come back down. The bottom is much wider than the top. They're not ovals. They're not circles. They're kind of like a shark fin. Wide on the bottom, pointy at the top. And I'm going to do another one on this side. You can make them come close together if you want. So we'll try to make them the same. That's always tricky, to make them exactly the same. Now my antennas are just two long skinny antennas. If you have a lot of room inside here, you can make your antennas come from the middle up. I think I'm going to make mine on the outside because I don't have a lot of room between my pinchers. So my antennas are going to go from here all the way to the top. They can curve if you want. I'm going to make two lines, and they're going to be very skinny. And I'll put one over here. And like I said, if you want to put them inside the pinchers, you can, but I don't really have room. Now, I'm going to make my ladybug out here. Now, I know he's going to be small, but we don't want to make him so small we can't, like, trace him or color him or anything. So, my ladybug, I can't just put him anywhere. I can't put my ladybug over here because then it won't match the inside. It's the same ladybug, by the way. This is the same ladybug as the little guy outside. Half of him is under the magnifying glass, so he's big. Half of him is outside, he's small. So I need to go right on the other side of this line, not in the middle, but outside, and I'm going to draw half of a circle. Half my circle is on this side of that line, half my circle is on the other side. So I'm going to try to split it right down the middle. Mine's not exactly in the middle. Is that better? That's better. So I'm going to make the split of his wings out here too, not going through the magnifying glass. And then I'm going to draw some spots out here, and of course they're a little bit smaller. Right? A little bit smaller. Now, I am going to make 4 legs. I'm going to make 4 legs. I'm going to make 2 on this side. I'm going to make 2 on the other side. And I'm not going to make them this furry because they're small. So what I'm going to do, just so it doesn't look flat like he was run over by a steamroller, I'm going to go over and down and out. That's his little foot. And then I'll go over and down and make maybe a little zigzag. It looks like he's wearing little hiking shoes. Little ziggy-zaggy on the bottom. Right? I'll do 2 on this side. Over, down, out, over, down, ziggy-zaggy, bottom of his foot. And over on this side, over, down, foot, over, down, ziggy-zaggy on the bottom of his foot. Looks like little hiking shoes. Over, down, out, over, down, ziggy-zaggy foot. Because if you make him straight, looks like somebody stomped him. Now, if I'm looking at a ladybug in a magnifying glass, he's walking across the lawn. We're probably going to also see other things in there, like grass, blades of grass, and dirt. So what we're going to do on the inside, we're going to draw some grass. And if grass is small, right, a little long skinny triangle, but we're inside here, so we're going to make them nice and big. I'm going to use a different color. He's red, even though I don't have a green marker here. But just so you can kind of see the grass and not get it confused with the ladybug. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make some nice big blades of grass that are behind or in back of my ladybug. If you don't have a lot of room, I made my ladybug nice and big, so I don't have a lot of room. Okay, so I'm going to make them nice and big. And you can make as much grass back there as you want. So what we'll do, we'll talk about coloring. Now, if you have a marker, if you have a Sharpie, Definitely outline first, because I think if you just do this in pencil and then you color it in, you're going to lose a lot of your detail. So you can even outline with like a small pen, like a black ballpoint pen, or if you have just a skinny little Sharpie or a skinny permanent marker, I would trace all of the lines with that. We're not going to color anything in with the Sharpie. We'll use crayon or colored pencil for that. So once you have everything traced, we'll talk about what color everything's going to be. You can either do it color pencil or crayon, as I said. And we'll go with the little guy. The little guy, our spots will be black. And our legs will be black. You might need something pointy like a colored pencil. Or even a Sharpie, I guess, a skinny Sharpie to do the little guy. Crayon might be a little bit difficult, but if you're careful, you can do it. And then big ones, we'll do crayon for that, or colored pencil. So the spots will be black. No, I'm not going to sit here and color in all the spots. Right? Spots will be black. 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 This half circle will be black. Black. His legs will be black. Shoulder and a hairy leg. Shoulder and the hairy leg will be black. Now your pinchers on this one, you can make your pinchers brown maybe, and then your antennas black, or some people like to make their pinchers black and their antennas brown. I would say make one or the other. So I will maybe just do my antennas black. And then my pinchers, I'll write brown in there. B-R-W-N, B-R-O-W-N. Brown, brown, brown. Okay? Our ladybug, we're going to blend two colors together, whether it's crayon or colored pencil. We're going to blend red and orange for the big guy and the little guy. Red and orange for the big guy and the little guy. Your grass back here, I would say, you see here, I would say to color your grass in the background green. See all those blades of grass? There's two right there, there's three there. And then, if you have watercolor, you can watercolor the dirt behind the grass. You can see the dirt. If you don't have watercolor, you can color that in with colored pencil or crayon. Maybe use a different brown for your pinchers than your dirt, just so they don't get mixed up. I'm sure you probably have a couple different browns in your set. Your handle will be brown crayon or colored pencil. Now, if you have something shiny, in class we use a silver Sharpie. If you don't have a silver Sharpie, you can use a silver colored pencil, a silver crayon. So the big circle will be silver, then that square will be silver, and then that little guy will be silver. And you can see all the red and the orange for the ladybug. And then for the background, we've tried many different things. We've tried just scribbling with marker like this, maybe like the light green, dark green, yellow, brown. Grass can be many different colors. You could be more careful and just make a bunch of little lines. You could just watercolor the whole thing. Maybe you want to watercolor just pieces of grass. Because remember, inside the blades of grass are really, really big. Out here, they're just going to be regular blades of grass. So, however you can indicate grass out there, go for it. Crayons, colored pencils, markers, whatever you want to use. Okay? When you are done, make sure you send me a picture of your beautiful ladybug in the magnifying glass on Seesaw. I promise I will check them out and I will send you a message back. Mom and dads, remember, if you guys need paper, I've got paper here. Let me know you need some. I'll roll it up, put it down by the office, or you can have somebody bring it from school if you have a neighbor or something that in school, and I can give them the paper, and we'll send it home. However, we can get you some paper. You don't want to keep making all these nice drawings on copy paper. I've got nice, big, heavy-duty drawing paper. If you need it, just let me know. Send me an email. and my school email address, and I will somehow get it to you. Okay? Excellent. I will see you later, guys. Bye.